like to call our special board meeting to order. Where's the superintendent? Okay. To call to order our special board meeting at 5:03 p.m. We are located in the Village of Broadview Municipal Chambers, 2350 South 25th Avenue. Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Mayor Rebo.
Here.
Ms. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Marzano.
Here.
Mr. Scalise.
Here.
Mr. Crumstock.
Here.
Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any public comment? Well, we don't have any, so we go right into the next one. The minutes from September 28, 2023 special board meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is the monthly financial report for October 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So for the month of September, the commission had just over $7 million in cash split between $5 million, a little over $5 million at the Illinois funds for the transmission main reserve, as well as our own savings accounts, and a little over $1.8 million in our checking account. We will be moving money in October, at the end of October, to cover the costs that we've collected related to all of the reserves, such as debt service reserves, so that you'll see, hopefully we'll get the new account open. We're having some issues because we don't swear in you guys, so I think I'm gonna have to get the swearing in, because our bylaws say that the two mayors, two village presidents are signers. I think I'm gonna have to get the swearing in of Mr. Hriebel at Westchester to send. So we're trying to resolve that. So we hope to have that done soon. As far as the operations are concerned, at the end of September, we're running a surplus of $622,000, which is pretty standard where we're at right now, because we haven't paid most of the bond payments yet for the year. So where we're at right now, I believe we're in a good, strong position. There isn't any accounts that I would be greatly concerned about. Other than that, the only item I have is, usually we move the November meeting to the third Thursday of the month. Something got missed on this agenda that I need to present, but because I always have a third Thursday meeting, I'm wondering if we could move ours back to the fifth Thursday? The 30th?
The 30th.
Because I have to present something to you guys. We got audited by IMRF, and for the most part, our audit is clean. What we do month over month, when they set up something, they forgot to pass a resolution. And so I just want to explain it. So if we can move the third Thursday, move our meeting in November from the third Thursday to the fifth Thursday, I would appreciate it.
So I had on the calendar that our next meeting was going to be on November 24th, that Friday.
I'm out of
I don't know
town.
why that was like that.
I don't
but
know
that's
why
what I
I'm
had
out of
on my
town.
calendar.
I'm on vacation. I go to my
I
parents.
thought it was odd, because it's right the day after Thanksgiving. I'm okay with the 30th. Are you, Mayor?
Well, I needed
Have
the
you found
fifth Thursday. I needed on the
That's
30th.
the fifth Thursday,
Yes.
November 30th.
Yeah.
It's
So-
scheduled for the 16th, which is November. The 30th is the fifth Thursday of the month.
Right. I'm asking for it to be moved to the 30th. Because I would have sent Chris, because there shouldn't have been anything on the agenda, but because this thing got missed, I need to push it to November.
Is this something that the board have to take action on?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm
that's
fine with it. Mayor Rebo?
I'm fine with it as well. Just as another matter of reference, I know in Mr. Wesley's superintendent report that might possibly require a special meeting. I don't know how long,
Yeah,
A
if it
discussion
can,
is
if
gonna
it
be.
requires a special meeting, we can put it on that special meeting.
is this timely?
Yeah, because IMRF is waiting for it to close out our audit. So if they have a special meeting and they put it on it, then that's fine, we can leave the November meeting at.
We can find
on
out
the
more
3rd.
from the superintendent upon his report.
Yep, that's fine. And then I have one other, you were saying that you need to swear in a Mayor Rebel for some audit or something.
So Illinois Funds requires the swearing in to be documented, but the way our bylaws are written, we don't swear you guys in. We basically take, once you're elected in your town, you're now on this board, so we don't swear you in on this board. So I'm trying to work with Illinois Funds to say, hey, we don't swear them in, just our bylaws say this. And they haven't given me how they want proof that he's actually on the board, and I think the way to do that is to show that he was sworn in it.
Can I provide the statement of election from Karen
Yeah.
Yarbrough?
Yeah,
I
if you
have
could
that.
provide that,
Yeah.
email it to me, that'd
Because
be
that's what I
awesome.
was gonna recommend. Usually
Yeah.
it's something that we get from the county that solidify that, or another way that you can do it if you don't wanna do the statement, you can get it from the clerk, where the clerk can notarize a letter saying that he was sworn in as the, village president to serve on this board. So your clerk, your local clerk can do, write a
Well,
letter
if
with
he
a
has
notary.
his affidavit that he signs, that should serve perfectly.
I don't remember
Yeah,
signing an
it's just,
affidavit.
it's an issue because they expect certain things because we're a government but we're not quite, we don't do things the same way everybody else does because
So Mike,
we're an
can you
IGA.
give us some, advice on which direction we need to go to make sure that she have what she need for?
Yeah, I think the letter from the clerk is a good idea. There should be, both mayors should
Yep.
have oaths of office.
Yep.
If they need anybody else on the board, trustees, you know, there should be oaths of office.
Right.
I think we could package something up and show them a page of the IGA that shows how people, you know, you're on the board. The mayors are on the board once they're elected. So we can patch something together and
Yeah.
get it to you.
That's how we handle things in the village of Broadview. We just let the clerk certify,
Yeah.
my position.
I'm sure I can go online and find your meeting minutes that says that he was sworn in.
But they
And-
might want like certified ones. There's gotta be an oath of office. That would be the
Yes.
best.
Yeah,
Well, we also do a resolution.
Or resolution.
oh, yeah.
So,
Appointing,
I'll get-
appointing to the board, in addition to the oath of
Yeah,
office.
pointing you to the board, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
Thank you.
if we get the special meeting, I have to be at the special meeting.
Those are two different things, Hiram, yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is communications, new business, consideration and approval of the renewal of health insurance coverage with Blue Cross Blue Shield in the amount of $45,215. This is the annual premium for coverage period December 1, 2023 to December 1, 2024. Superintendent, you want to give us some updates on this?
So this would be our annual renewal for the health insurance. We'll be with the same carrier, and it'll be a savings, I think, of like $307 versus the previous year.
So the amount increased by $300?
No, it'll decrease by 300.
Oh, decrease,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I need a motion and a,
So moved.
Second.
manager, you have any questions or comments?
No, I don't.
Trustee?
No.
Mayor?
No.
Ms. Jones?
No.
Scalise? Okay, can we get a roll call?
Mayor Rebel,
Yes.
Mayor Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Scalise?
Yes.
Mr. Comstock?
Yes.
Thank you. Next is consideration and approval of the renewal of dental insurance coverage with Dental Delta in the amount of $143.72 for family coverage per month and $51.93 for single coverage per month. The coverage is from December 1, 2023 to November 30th, 2025. Mr.
So
Robert?
this will be another annual renewal. For the Delta Dental, it did increase by a couple of dollars. I'll have to get the exact dollar amount for you. but it did increase a couple of dollars.
How many, wait, okay. Can I get a motion and a second for discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions, because I'm just seeing what the coverage is per month for family and for single coverage per month. So for family, how many people are on the family coverage?
That will be myself and the 2 water operators on the single coverage.
So that's 3. And so for annual, 1724 times 3 is $5,173.92. And then on the single coverage, that's $51.93. How many is on that plan?
It will be 2 for single.
Okay. And that amount is $1,246.32 for the single coverage for the 2 employees. So, Superintendent, you gave us the per month. I would prefer to have these types of numbers in an annual basis, because that's how we budget. We don't budget on per month. So just for future reference, can you just give it to us what the numbers are? So for the family coverage, it's $5,173.92. And for the single coverage for the 2 employees, it's $1,246.32. Do my numbers add up correct? Okay. Manager, you have any questions or comments? No. Trustee?
I do have a question. Like a lot of these dental plans, is there a max payout? Just curious, because I remember these plans, you would pay out $1,800 a year, and their max payout was $1,800 a year. Is that similar with this?
I could look into that and get back to you.
Yeah, I'm just curious. That's why I dropped my dental. More than they'll pay out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
I just have one question. The numbers you had provided, Mayor Thompson, in the total, especially as it relates to how many are each, if somebody's requesting or has some sort of family change, are they required to then come to the board for any modifications? If they were to not be a family, but then start their family mid-year, would we require a budget amendment?
No.
No? Okay.
No, only, I don't think so, only because
'Cause you-
anytime there's a change in benefits, whether it's dental or healthcare benefits, they can change with life circumstances.
Correct.
So-
They can, but now, based on the fact that we're putting a solid number on it.
Well, we've already budgeted for it. We've already
Yes.
approved our budget
Okay.
for the numbers.
Got
So
it.
I don't know, Kelly, do you know what the numbers are for the budget for benefits?
We don't require individuals to come back to the board if they suddenly,
Right.
if one of them was to suddenly go off and get married and want to put their spouse on.
Understood.
You're just
It's a
saying we'll be
life
under
change.
budget.
Yeah,
We
it
don't
would,
require, we don't,
that answers the question.
yeah.
That's, it was, I didn't mean to get detailed. I just wanted to know if somebody has a life change, if there was any difficulty, that's all.
That's fair. Ms. Jones?
Nothing.
Mr. Scalise?
No, ma'am.
Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Scalise?
Yep.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Comstock?
Yes.
Thank you. Next is consideration and approval of renewal of vision insurance cover with Delta Vision in the amount of $10.66 for family coverage per month and $4.26 for single coverage per month. The coverage is from December 1st, 2023 to November 30th, 2025. I do math. So, Mr. Barber, you want to tell us, is there an increase or a decrease? with,
It stayed the same from last year.
Okay, so it stayed the same. And the numbers are the same, 3 for family, 2 for single coverage for vision?
No, it's 1 for family and 2 for single.
Okay. So the numbers that I have for family is $127.92 for the 1 employee and for the family, and then $102.24 for the 2 employees that's single. Do my numbers add up?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Manager, you have any questions or comments?
No, I don't.
Trustee?
Thank you.
Mayor?
No.
Ms. Jones?
No.
Mr. Scalise?
No, ma'am.
Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Can I get a motion in a second?
Oh, we need to, yeah, we need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, Mayor Thompson,
Yes.
Mayor Rebo,
Yes.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Marzano,
Yes.
Mr. Scalise,
Yes.
Mr. Comstock.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is consideration and approval of renewal of general liability, casualty, property, and other lines of insurance coverage in the amount of $42,497.
So for that line item, I have representatives here from Kelly Assurance that could discuss this.
Okay, these gentlemen, okay, if you can come up to the podium and. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I can share.
So the two primary changes over last year's coverage and this year is the addition of one extra vehicle that was purchased by the Joint Water Agency midterm. And we were able to get the carrier to waive the premium for this term, but it is included in a small increase for next term. The total last year for the package coverage was $29,155. This year with that increase, it's $31,387. And then there was a new hire this year as well. So the added payroll did increase the workers' comp for a total of $11,917 for the renewal. So the package for the year, including the workers' comp, is $43,304.
Okay, tell us your name.
Matt Kelly, and I'm Anthony Kelly.
Okay. Can we get a motion in a second?
Motion for approval.
Second.
Thank you. So I have a question. When you say a small increase will take place next year, do you know what that percentage, because we have to project what our budget would be with that increase?
The figures on the sheet here do include that increase. The vehicle, if I remember correctly, was purchased closer to June or July. We added that vehicle on this year's policy, but the company was able to waive the premium for this term. So that increase is included in the packet handout. On page 19 is the total for the general liability, the property, and the automobiles coverage.
Okay, for transparency, can you tell us what those numbers are, because we are streaming live for the public, and they don't have the information that we have?
Sure thing. Which numbers would you like spoken?
What the potential increase is going to be for next year?
The increase is already shown on here. It's at $31,387. Last year, this total coverage was $29,155, which would be $2,232 increase. Some portion of that increase was due to overall rate increases for general liability, property, and automobiles in general, but primarily it was for the addition of the new vehicle.
And then the other question that I have as it relates to employees, because we had the one employee with the workers' comp, do it make a difference if that person is an operator or administrative assistant? Do the role make a difference in the cost for workers' comp?
Yeah, it absolutely does. The class code for that particular employee was the same as the other employees for the Joint Water Agency,
Okay.
which is for an operator, not simply for administrative.
Okay. Mr. Manager, you have any questions or comments? Thank you.
And one thing just to point out too is that the new hire, the addition of the premium has already been set for the renewal, but there will be an audit for the end of this term that will pick up the addition of that employee that was added midterm. So that audit will begin right after this term closes on 12/1, and I will help Wesley and whoever else to complete that audit with Hartford.
Okay. Mr. Manager?
Thank you. Just a quick question, and just maybe it's a clarification for people who might be listening to this, but is there computer and ransomware coverage, just in case?
I'd have to look through to be sure what type of cyber coverage is included in here. if you could give me,
That's fine. And the second question is, again, just for if anybody's listening or anything else, but from the numbers that you provided, and this is something that I just want to make sure that people understand, is that the vehicle and the total all building values are covered 100%. So it's not that you're doing a deductible. So if something happens to one of our vehicles or our buildings, we're covered. So I just want you to make that comment, because I did see that it's over $100,000 in vehicles and over $9.5 million in, so we're not being a prorated or a deductible rate. So I just wanted you to make that comment from what I saw. And again, someone watching this or someone hearing it can see that we're covered.
yes, sir.
And one quick question, what is miscellaneous mobile equipment, what does that usually include? Because there's a 10,000
Which page are you
insured
looking at, sir?
value, the last page. Miscellaneous mobile equipment deductible 1,000, value 10. I'm just curious what that,
Page 26.
in case,
Yeah, that's just an interline item that is included. They'll know that you might have to use some sort of equipment across the year that might not be listed on here,
okay,
whether it's a rental or something
okay.
that didn't need to be described explicitly.
All right, thank you.
That's it, trustee? That's it?
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor?
Nothing further.
Ms. Jones?
Nothing.
Mr. Scalise?
No, ma'am.
So I have one, piggybacking off the manager as it relates to cyber liability. So this plan does not, it excludes cyber liability. So what would it take for us to be, because of the nature of the business, we need to make sure that we're protected?
Sure. Right. Yeah, cyber liability is not covered on this policy, so if you'd like me to get a quote from the carrier to provide cyber for the extortion or the ransomware, I'd be happy to do so.
Will you please?
I will.
Okay, thank you. Celeste, can we get a roll call? Oh, hold on.
Just make one more statement. There is sufficient amounts in the budget for these increases, when we take it into account for accrual basis. So for the part of the year that had the lower rate, then the additional part of the year that's gonna have a higher rate, there's sufficient budget there. We'll have to make sure that next year we increase our budget back up to be fully staffed for workers' comp, as well as the increase in our costs. And then additionally, we're gonna have to add the cyber.
Yep. Thank you, Kelly. Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Scalise?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Cromstock?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kelly and Mr. Kelly.
Thank you.
And then if you could just get that information to the superintendent, he can relay that to us. Okay, thank you. Next is old business, the status report on the expansion of the water, agency water reservoir capacity at 10th Avenue Pump Station site. Any updates? Okay, we'll keep that on old business. Next is consideration and approval of the finance report as of October 30th, 2023. The check report for the period September 29th, 2023 to October 26th in the amount of $504,367.42. The agency check numbers are 17183 through 17201. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Manager, you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Trustee?
I do not, thank you.
Mayor?
No, I do not.
Ms. Jones?
Nothing.
Ms. Scalise?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Scalise? So I do want to say I appreciate us getting a detailed report of the checks, and I'm sure they've been, but it's more visible this way how you put it in the packet, so thank you whoever put the packets together. Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Cromstock?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Scalise?
Yes.
Next is the status report on the request for RFPs for the updated contractor list for on-call, routine, and emergency water system repairs, and the engineer's report and recommendation regarding the RFP submittals.
Good evening. I have prepared just a short memo, and there's a table in the back of that, just kind of listing the contractors and different rates they proposed, and We just want to get formal approval of this list, and then the engineer, the attorney and I will work together on getting contracts for each of the entities based on these rates. This is just a summary on one page of the proposals we had the last time, and just trying to, and talk with the contractors, and these are the three and how they decided to put together their pricing.
Okay, I need a motion and a second for discussion.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Okay, manager, you have any questions or comments?
No, I do not.
Trustee?
Yeah, I noticed, obviously, NARI has larger markups. Is there, I think we discussed that before, the reason for that.
They have,
Like, they're bigger. I
they're
know.
bigger.
I
they have-
remember you
They have
saying
more
that.
overhead and other things to take care of versus
Okay.
somebody like a Geno's, but.
Okay.
Mayor?
I have nothing.
Ms. Jones?
Is the superintendent, is he included in these meetings?
I'm sorry?
The superintendent will be included in these meetings when we're talking about the, getting all the information for the three that's proposing.
For the you mean putting the contract, yeah, we will work with them, yes.
Thank you.
Mrs. Scalise?
Nothing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we should take a vote on that.
What'd you say, Mr. Attorney?
I said,
We have motion and a second. Should we vote?
yes,
Okay.
if there's no more discussion.
Yeah,
And
Mayor Thompson?
yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Scalise?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Crumstock?
Yes.
Thank you. Next is the superintendent's report.
Good afternoon,
Good
board.
afternoon.
I submitted my superintendent's report electronically. If you have any questions.
Mr. Manager, do you have any questions for the superintendent?
No question, but I would like to thank him for being at the Tour de Proviso bike ride with you, too.
Oh, thank you. Trustee?
I do not, thank you.
Mayor?
Just wanted to get a little insight or update on where you stand on the emergency contractor work that you're discussing here.
For Kyler,
Yes.
we're gonna be getting 3 contractors to do quotes to get the tuck pointing work completed there because it's in an emergency state. Like, some parts of, you could look straight outside from inside, so yeah, that's a priority. I'm working with Mr. Goomis on that.
Okay.
So
I
was
noticed you
thinking
mentioned
about,
that, oh, sorry.
and once we do get the 3 quotes, we probably call a special meeting so we could vote on it, or the board could vote on it, and we can get that taken care of as soon as possible.
That's my only question.
Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Nothing.
Mr. Scalise?
No, ma'am.
So I have a couple, not questions, but just, I'm looking at the report for the water usage, and I noticed on here that we have Chicago South and Chicago North. Because I haven't seen that on.
So, at the Austin and Garfield vault, we have a north meter feed and a south meter feed. We're being fed through both we're being fed through both of them at the same time. So there's different readings.
Okay, just so so that the public know what we're looking at. So for Chicago South and Chicago North, which are the pump stations that we own and operate?
No, those are the Chicago meters that are in the Austin vault.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what the city of Chicago provides us water.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that number is 100,960 gallons.
So that
What?
would be 100,960,000 gallons that
That's a
came
lot
through
of
those water meters.
And then I'm looking at the usage for the water customers, which is Westchester, Broadview, Hines, Loyola, and Madden. And that's 104,646,000 gallons of water.
Yes.
And so it's saying that it's a difference of, $3,686,000. What caused the difference? Do we know?
So that number, that's not what we have in there. That difference, so Mr. Gomez, the difference, yeah, having a memory to
I believe you also have, water storage and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that accounts for some of that. but-
Yes, because the timing of when the readings are done are different, and the amount of water in your villages, in the reservoirs, and there is some loss on your water system. It's up 5 miles of main, so there is some loss that occurs there, but that number is tracked, and the percentages are running well within expected ranges for the aging. And we'll go back and explain a little more on the meter vault. So there are 2 meters in there. It comes in splits, and that's for redundancy. I mean, in case you have to work on one, you're still getting water. So you can isolate the south one and still get water, and then when you need to do the north one, you can do the opposite. Because if you left one in there and you just had to do something, you'd be stuck without a source of water for that period of time.
Thank you for that. I'm learning more than I wanted to learn. But thank you. Well, that's all that I have. Thank you, Mr. Barber. I'm not aware of any closed meetings tonight. And so, before we adjourn the meeting, I do want to just bring some things to the board's attention. So, the Metropolitan Planning Council is going to be hosting Drinking Water 123. I will be on that panel. It's going to be on November 9th. It'll be it'll be on a Zoom, but it'll be a virtual conversation. So it's a mayor and, I can't remember what town he's from, but a mayor and then someone from Joliet that's in the water aspect, talking about water and how we collaborate. And so I invite all of our elected officials and all of the board members on this board to most certainly participate. Once I get the link, that we just had the first call today for logistics. So once I get the link, I'll share that with everyone to participate in the conversation. I did mention you and Mayor Rebo and I co-chair the water agency, and we look at water infrastructure. And I know they had their first discussion coming up on this Thursday. But next week is more on the elected official side. So once I get all of the links, I'll share it with everybody so that you can, participate in that if you choose to. And the only question, the other thing that when we solidified that during Kelly's report as it relates to the board meeting. So I know we said that we may have a special board meeting coming up. Do we have a date?
As soon as we can get these quotes in, I'll let you know. But as of right now, no.
Okay, so it may be an issue with my schedule, because I don't have a date today, but I do have a heavy travel schedule coming up, like back to back to back. And I do want to thank the board for having consideration to reschedule this meeting, because I was traveling last week, and then I'm out next week. So, I guess it's just gonna depend. Am I able to dial in if we need to have a special board meeting?
If you're away on business for
I
either
am.
the business of the village or the business of the agency, absolutely.
Yeah, I will be out for official business.
Well,
So,
we actually have to have a quorum, and you really only have 2-person boards, so technically no. Because you gotta have a quorum physically present to do the dial-in under the old school Open Meetings Act. The other hybrid doesn't technically exist anymore, so you wouldn't be able to.
so Mr. Attorney, you all need to address that with the legislators
I know.
with 2-member boards like this, because
I know.
that can create an issue.
I thought bylaws it allowed the administrator to sit in place of the mayors to create a quorum.
You can do that, but the question is the mayor gonna participate in her role? She's gonna
Well, I
participate
trust
in
my
her
village
role.
administrator, so if that's allowed and acceptable, Ms. Jones can sit on my behalf.
Yes.
And then,
And that
because
would be the way to
depending
do it.
on the date, I may not be here.
Yeah, but if we're gonna, if you wanna be here as a voting member to, under.
Well, we're stream live, I probably can watch it live. I don't have to, be necessarily.
That would be one way
And
to
then,
do
and
it.
then as long as I get the information ahead of time, I can ask the questions of the superintendent to get my questions answered, and just make sure that I communicate that with the village administrator.
Perfect.
Okay, so that
That would
works.
give us more flexibility to get to
Yep.
The IMRF resolution that Kelly talked about, and then the cyber insurance quote.
Yeah, I don't wanna hold up processes to keep the agency moving, so. Okay, well, that's all I have. Any other discussion before we adjourn?
I would just like to mention, Wesley has registered for that 123 drinking water, myself as well. It does say the 2nd and the 9th are through Zoom, and then December 7th is in person downtown. I had the address here a minute ago. And that is the email that you had sent us.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks, Mr. Scalise. So those that want to participate, I'll try to go back and find the email and then recirculate. Superintendent Barbara, if you have it, will you please share it with the board on the registration process if they want to register? And then Mayor, if you want to share with the rest of the trustees in the village or manager, that would be fine. But I think the more government entities that participate in water infrastructure and how we have access to affordable water, like when we pay like consumers, you know what that all look like. MPC does a really good job putting that together with Elevate for water affordability with water rates and stuff like that. So with that being said, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, and
Thank you.
have a good weekend. Happy Halloween. It's supposed to snow and some other things, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But if they just come to One Stop Shop, get all the candy. We got a whole bunch of candy here, so just give them all the candy that they want and send them on their way.